Hello friends, how are you? So today I wanted to talk about something that honestly I feel like I only talk about behind closed doors, and I have like my reasons for it, and I like to keep my privacy as much as possible. But I do think that there probably is an audience for this, and there's probably people that are gonna find hearing about this kind of stuff helpful. It's a bit of an unusual vlogmas, I suppose, and it's not necessarily a vlog as such, but I just feel like hopefully this is going to help someone else navigate the Christmas season feeling less lonely. And what I want to talk about today is how hard the Christmas season can be when you come from what I would call a broken home. It seems silly to say this whilst I'm about to talk about a very important thing, but if you see the light changing, it's the end of the day and it gets dark in the UK, so please excuse the different colors if you like. So I come from what I would describe as a broken home, and I think that with that comes a lot of struggle and a lot of challenges throughout life, but one that is not really talked about a lot because it's a very hard thing to talk about is how hard it can be to celebrate and to be happy no matter the circumstances. So you could be in the happiest place on earth, you could have absolutely everything that you want, and that's the case many times at Christmas time. If we are fortunate enough to be in a safe space, and if we have loved ones that surround us, if we have a good support system and a job and all of those things that are very important, then it can be a bit upsetting to realize that you still cannot be happy for what is to come. And the fact of the matter is, it is extremely challenging to approach the season with the light heart when you have memories from previous seasons, from things that have happened in the past, or perhaps from things that you never got to experience. For me, Christmas has never been a good time. I have never loved Christmas, and actually I'm learning to love it now as an adult. As a child, I experienced the kind of like striking differences that come with having Christmas with a broken family versus what some of my other peers were experiencing. And I should probably clarify, I don't necessarily mean, the bickering that happens at Christmas, and I'm not talking about the obvious like situation that many of us have where families aren't getting along and there's like always like a little bit of stress around the holidays. I actually mean when there is lack of safety across many areas of life and where there is trauma to be kind of like dealt with. So for me, what took the longest time was figuring out how I could do Christmas my own way, moving away from what Christmas had already represented for me whilst I was growing up. Because let's face it, I am not going to experience Christmas again as a child. I can't be a child again. But what I can do is try and create the space for Christmas that I wish I had had. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because it is a hard thing to come to terms with, and I haven't really come to terms with that fully, but I think that talking to people who have had a similar experience to me has been very helpful to make me feel less alone. There is nothing quite like not being able to celebrate Christmas in the way that you see in the movies or in the way that you see on TV, and this sounds like really silly, but if you live in a first world country, and if you have all of the basics covered, then you probably have a TV. Today you probably have a phone, and you're gonna constantly be comparing the way that you celebrate, the way that you do things, the way that you can honestly live your life to a better, more sparkly, more glamorous, more perfect version constantly. And when what you're comparing, it's not just not perfect, but it's also very clearly messed up and not good, it can be very hard to like reconcile with the fact that you are having to deal with it, because it's not fair. It's not fair. Nobody deserves it. No child deserves it. No adult, to be honest, deserves it. We're all deserving of good things, of happy and wonderful things in our lives. Not everyone gets it. So I don't really have a huge amount of advice for anyone who is dealing with this feeling, but I just wanted to kind of express that it is possible to move forward from that space, and I have found it the best thing to do to kind of like navigate this time is to protect myself and to make sure that I celebrate the season on my own terms. And that kind of means taking a step back from some of the traditions that you might have experienced, and sometimes taking a step back from your family, or from some practices that you just don't feel good about. Dealing with trauma, specifically trauma that has happened in your childhood, can be extremely challenging. It doesn't really ever go away, and you can work through it, but you always have to be, I think, mindful of the fact that you deserve to never be in that space anymore. So put yourself first. Make sure you have a think about what you would have loved to have for Christmas or whenever you're watching this, and do that. Give that to yourself. Might not be the huge thing that maybe you were dreaming of yet, but you can make little steps towards it. And so this is something that I have definitely done last year, and this year for me was really challenging, not knowing whether I was going to be able to approach the season with a light heart and with the kind of like energy to be able to do that again. But I'm very happy to have been very fortunate to be in a stable home for, you know, a few months. It's not too long, but at least is a home, and to have a wonderful partner by my side and a wonderful friends and lovely people around me that can help me navigate this season. My heart goes out to you if this video has resonated in any kind of way. Please leave me a comment, let me know how you're feeling, and I hope that you can find it in you to create that thing that nobody else has given you. It's unfair, it's not okay, and it's a bit rubbish, to be honest, but there is light at the end of the tunnel, and you can break the cycle. You can have a great Christmas. You can do the things that light you up, that make you feel joyful and happy and safe. So go and do that, and I will see you in my next video.
Around midnight, way up